According to Bell MTS, our clock in the chambers is a little bit slow, but we will go by that time. I'd like to call the meeting to order on this June 4th. A little bit gloomy out there today, but we needed the rain, so all is good. We'd like approval of the agenda. Blake, Penny? General inquiries. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, all in favor, I'm sorry. Thank you. General inquiries.
Les Ellsworth, I suppose I'm a recently retired steelworker. So I'll start off by saying thank you to Mayor Fenske for sending me a letter of congratulations. Deputy Mayor Smoot, some of those things I might ask tonight, you may not have an answer. I've been away for a while, family emergency, some very difficult times in my family, just got back there recently. I want to talk about the Mining Reserve Fund. What have we heard from the provincial government on the Mining Reserve Fund?
I know Mayor Fenske has had meetings with them, but I do not have an answer for you at this time.
Okay, so I'll give you some answers. I met with Minister Peterson on April the 30th at the Union Hall, and don't quote me, this was his words. I asked him about the Mining Reserve Fund like I have been for the last year or two, and why is there no money being allocated to Thompson, since we're probably the biggest mining sector in the province of Manitoba for many years, and certainly we, meaning Vale, have paid probably the most into that fund. The fund certainly pays to partial or a total shutdown, which I clarified with our MLA, who told us something different. I clarified that, and certainly we should qualify. So this is what Minister Peterson, after he was pressured and we talked, said that he have met with Mayor Fenske on a number of occasions with other people, and I was there at meetings with him as well. And the reason that Thompson does not have or will not get any money from the Mining Reserve Fund is because the city has not come with plans. There's no plans on what you would do to invest that money. And the government is not about to give you money from a fund without a plan. Certainly they're looking for ways of recouping some of that money by investing in the community. And I came up with a couple ideas. Certainly wasn't my ideas, it was other people's ideas that have been talked about. And he seemed quite interested. So I'm quite concerned as a citizen, also being a part of a organization that spend a lot of money helping to lobby the government. And to find out, not here to say it's correct or incorrect, but straight from Minister Peterson's own lips, that the reason we haven't received the money is because the mayor have not brought plans on how we're going to use that money to further the investment in Thompson. So I want to leave that with you, and hopefully that's caught in the minutes. Because I do expect an answer, and he should be able to come back and have an answer to whether that's correct or not. I was quite concerned while I was away that I heard about the kids' camp being canceled in Thompson. I've been involved in many decisions where we've had cutbacks over the years in different organizations. I served on a lot of boards. And I understand when times are hard, some things happen. But when it comes to the kids' camp, I don't know if it's just me, but I listen a lot, and I hear a lot, and I see a lot, and I read a lot. This town is in a mess when it comes to what's happening with the children. Don't know all the answers, and I want to be a part of a solution, not a problem. But if we can afford to send people down to a trade show in Nova Scotia, and I've been told, I stand to be corrected, at a cost of $24,000, which I'm not sure what kind of investment that will offer in the city of Thompson, surely we can finance kids to go to a camp. And after raising a family of 4, I appreciate camps. I appreciate different churches, organizations that brings the kids in the summertime when they're out of school to make sure that they are taught about life, things that will further them in their life, not out running around at nighttime breaking into vehicles and doing a whole lot of things that should not be happening. So I appeal as a citizen tonight to you, the council, to reverse your decision and help us as citizens to help you to ensure that our kids do have a place to go in the summertime, not roaming the streets for 2 months while they're out of school. And certainly there's a huge responsibility on the parents as well. I will not leave that out. But as a city, I think if I was on your council and I was prioritizing, I think that would be the last thing to go when it comes to the children. And the last thing I want to talk about tonight, maybe you're familiar and you've been asked, maybe you haven't been, there's a teachers' rally on Saturday morning at 10:30 that will march from the Union Hall to McLean Park with a number of unions, and certainly there will be speakers. I talked to the president of the Teacher Association. I was helping to put together signs today. I would hope the council would come and support the teachers, because the cuts to the teachers is the same cuts to this council, to education, to a lot of things, and we need to band together against a government that certainly doesn't seem to care about what's happening in northern Manitoba or the province. So I'd like to invite you all to come out, and I've asked the president about this today, and certainly she brings that as well at 10:30 on Saturday morning. That's all the questions or inquiries I got for you. I could sit here for 2 hours, I guess, but someone told me it was going to be a short meeting. I figured I'd better use the first 10 minutes off. Thank you.
Thank you, and condolences to your family and Lita on your loss. And I have already sent my, that I will attend the teachers' rally. I've sent back my thing, and I'm hoping fellow councillors will attend also. Thank you, and the rest of the questions we'll be getting back to you.
Thank you.
Any more questions at this time for general inquiries? For a second time, any more general inquiries? And a third time, any more questions or general inquiries? Thank you very much. Okay. The adoption of minutes, resolution 2018-143, moved by Councillor Byers, seconded by Councillor Ellis. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held in Council Chambers, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Tuesday, May 22nd, 2018, be adopted as circulated. Any questions? Administration? Anything? All in favor? Passed. Second resolution, 5.1. Resolution 2018-144, moved by Councillor Ellis, seconded by Councillor Byer. Check register dated April 2018. General accounts payable checks totaling $2,814,941.77. For payroll dated April 13th, 2018, $257,420.66. Payroll dated April 27th, 2018, for $269,558.40. For a total of $526,979.06, totaling $3,341,920.83. The accounts contained in this check register have been reviewed by members of the Finance and Administration. Call for any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Oh, yes.
First, I'd like to ask for a recorded vote. Second, I cannot support this. My reason is because there's a couple of checks here I do not agree with it. After I pay a visit to the City Hall today and look at the itemized invoice, it's sick to my stomach. You know why? Because one of the company charging us 259 liters per hour to run a tri-axle hydrovac truck. I run a business with heavy equipment. Nowhere in hell you can burn 259 liters per hour. Even the biggest machine in underground, which is like 13 or 14 yard scoop tram, will not burn 259 liters per hour to scoop up the ore from the underground. So I look at that invoice, it really sick to my stomach. And of course, majority rule. Majority people agree to pay off such a huge amount, $23,000 and $33,000 without looking at any items of the invoice. How these people charging the city? I'm upset. I'm very upset. Without looking at the itemized invoice, I might say, hey, maybe it worth that much. Now go home and think about this. Is it any way they can burn 259 or 95 liter per hour using the equipment. Thank you.
Mr. Matichak.
I have two issues with the check register. The first one being, there's been 3 checks written to Community Futures North Central Development. The total on the 3 is over $20,000, and I have an issue with that. That often I don't get answers to as to how much per year goes there and so on. And secondly, to what Councillor Wong had to say, after looking at the invoices, there are some discrepancies there that there's no way that I would pay that quietly. But it has been paid, but it's on this check register. I will not be supporting the check register.
Further questions? Administration, do you have any? Okay. Councillor Byer?
Yeah, I believe those community futures checks are flow-through dollars. It's not money that we're paying directly to community futures for anything that's done as a service for us, but rather the money comes from the province to us and we're supposed to pay them, if I'm not mistaken. Regarding that invoice, can we look into that, please? To verify that the invoice is itemized the way it's set up?
Councillor Wong?
Remember the invoice I just mentioned?
Yeah.
Well, I even put a rescind motion. The reason I put the motion to rescind, I want council to do their due diligence. I'm not saying we want to be micromanaging. We don't need to go through every single invoice or every single document. We have to believe, support our administration. When there's a red flag, we got to look at that. Why? How can they charge 1 hour, 295 liter to look at, to dig a hole? All right? So now altogether they charge 10 hours for one invoice, 4 hours in one invoice, 9 hours in another invoice. Altogether they burn over 3,900 liter one invoice, 2,900 another invoice, 1,100 liter another invoice. Come on. Unless I be so stupid to accept this invoice. Other than that, I'm speechless. Because majority rule again, so I think it's pointless to look at it now. Because we already did I did all my part to say, hey guys, take a deep look again. I'm not saying I'm not paying them. Don't take it out of the proportion. When the company try to gouge the taxpayer money, we have a duty to make sure it's not happen. If it's a legit, yes, pay it.
Councillor Byer?
Just for clarification, the only reason why I asked administration would they please pull that invoice and look at it again or from that company is to verify that what we're being charged is a fair amount and be able to report back to council what their findings are. The check has been paid. The bills have been paid, so we're just verifying the check register. So, but in terms of that particular invoice or set of invoices, can we please have an explanation?
Councillor Ellis, do you have anything to say as mover to close this off? No, I don't. Oh, Councillor Foley, sorry.
Is there a discrepancy in the amount of liters per hour, Duncan?
Say again?
You said it was how many liters per hour?
295 liter per hour they're charging to burn the fuel.
Saying that there's no machine that they would have that would pump that much?
Well, there's a lot of expert in mining industry.
I'm just saying, like, I work at a place that sells power equipment that will pump the size of my desk here will pump 120 liters per minute.
No, you talk about pumping capacity. I'm talking about burning diesel.
Burning diesel fuel?
Yeah.
I'm all for having it looked at a later time, but to not pass the registry would cause an issue with everything else on there. So as long as administration is is willing to do a little bit of background on it, I'm fine with it. But to not approve the registry as a whole, I think would be a little out of place.
Councillor Matichak?
I just want to clear up what Duncan is getting at here, and what he's getting at is the fuel surcharge. If you take the hours, not hours, if you divide the hours into the amount of fuel that they have on their fuel surcharge, it would come to them burning that amount. It's not an actual charge for the fuel, it's fuel surcharge.
Thank you. We will look into that. It's just that this has been on the agenda for so long. I wish somebody had brought it to our attention prior, but as it is now, I will call for the question, in a recorded vote, I'll call for the question for voting on to pass the check registers. All in favor? Voting in favor, Councillor Beyer, Councillor Ellis, Councillor Foley, Deputy Mayor Smook. Voting against, Councillor Matichak, Councillor Wong. Thank you. Okay. And we'll carry on with the mayor's report. On May 23rd, as Deputy Mayor, I attended the Cree Language Festival at Wapanuck School with Selby Brown from Thompson Fire Services. On the 21st, Mayor Fensky, Councillor Collada, and I attended the Mamaweetuck AGM. On the 26th, we, Councillor Beyer, Councillor Ellis, and myself got pied in the face numerous times at a NCN fundraiser to raise some dollars for lighting the path on the Nelson House Road. On the 28th of May, I'm not sure if any other councillors attended, but Mayor Fensky and myself attended the Troy Anand Scholarship Fund at Robin's Donuts. On May 28th, we were provided a tour of the wastewater treatment plant, and the work is coming along immensely. It's a huge place, especially when you put it in comparison to what we're working out of now. On the 29th, I attended a presentation. The Thompson Regional Airport Authority had an update on the new airport, and it was pretty neat to see. And on Saturday, on June 2nd, I was in attendance a couple times when they picked the garbage for $3, community cleanup. Despite the rain, numbers were down a bit, but there was lots of interest in that, and people coming in with their garbage, so thank you. And just a reminder to look on the website, that garbage month is continuing until June, I believe the 22nd. And the free dump days, I heard, were a big success at the garbage dump this past weekend. So thank you for waste disposal site, I'm sorry. So thank you to everybody, staff, management, and all the people, citizens of Thompson that participated. Today I was at United Food and Commercial Workers. They're having a Northern Conference in Thompson this last couple days, and I was there to attend, and it's very nice to see things coming to Thompson. And last week, not on behalf of the city, but in general for the North, I was at 2 tourism conferences on Thursday and Friday in Winnipeg, and the North is on the radar there. So thank you. Would any other councillors have something to say? Councillor Beyer.
I attended an Association of Manitoba Municipalities board meeting last Thursday, and alongside of yourself and Councillor Ellis, enjoyed the flavor of the pie. The Thompson Regional Airport Authority presentation, they had one in the public. The day following, I don't know how well it was attended. Community cleanup, I wasn't participating there because I was helping other people with their things. I used my truck and trailer and took 2 huge loads out to the waste disposal ground. So even though I wasn't out there cleaning up boulevards, I was helping people clean up their other garbage. The other thing that I attended, not on behalf of the city, but it was our citizenship ceremonies on the 31st. We had 96 people become Canadian citizens that day, representing 16 countries. The people were from Flin Flon, La Crosse, Snow Lake, and Thompson predominantly. And it was a very, very nice reception. The chief of the ceremony is, where's his name here? Dwight McCauley. And he just gave a very warm, friendly ceremony feel to it. They did something different this year. They had roundtable discussions prior to the ceremony, and Councillor Wong was one of the facilitators at the table. So it was nice to see that people were sitting around giving their opinions of being Canadian citizens and challenges and things as well. So it was really nice to see that, and it's nice to have something like that held in Thompson in particular. That's it.
Anybody else? We call for adjournment. Duncan and Dennis? Okay, thank you, folks. Have a good evening.